Frontier Airlines. Now, I have flown on Frontier before. I have never flown on Spirit. I just wanted to do it just to see how it was. I've never flown on Southwest. Wait a minute. On Frontier once? I may have, but after this, I said, listen, y'all gonna have to do a better job of screening these darn employees or said contractors that you bring on staff. So I saw this on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I've been meaning to cover it. And I can't even introduce the commentary to you. I can't do it. You kind of just got to watch it for yourself. So I've labeled this episode orangutan employees at Frontier Airlines. Now, I made orangutans plural, but employees is already plural. So it's orangutans employees, which grammatically doesn't make sense, but there are no rules in this vernacular here. You see, orangutan is a made-up term. It's a behavior descriptor that I've applied to female imbeciles who cannot manage their misery. And as a result, they show out. They ain't got good sense. They embarrass themselves, the culture. They just make everybody miserable, and there's chaos around them, and they're just horrible people. And so what you guys are about to witness right now, as soon as I can just get that on the screen by itself, you are about to witness a pair. It is often that orangutans travel in packs, right? Sometimes they do travel in packs. Sometimes you only really just need one to really feel the full weight and gravity of just how trifling these beings are. But today we have a pack of them, right? Just a pack of orangutans. So without further ado, I want y'all to take a look at the orangutans in action.
They made their flight. You did. And you think, you're going to check me in. I bet you we won't.
Okay? I paid for a ticket.
And you didn't pay $25 for an agent assistant, and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that I.
Going to get on your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
And you will never fly.
You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in, and you decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Can you please leave, sir?
No.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm not in your personal space. This is not your personal space.
This is my stationery.
This is not your personal space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing your job for a customer that has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
I told you to stop putting the camera on me, sir.
I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in. For no reason whatsoever.
Well, you said you're never flying the airline again, so we might as well help you out and have you not fly the airline.
I've already bought a ticket. I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
I'm gonna play it again, but before I do, what I want to do is I want to read the news article to kind of give you guys some backstory. But before I do that, I did fly Frontier Airlines last October. And I flew when I went to Raleigh. And this is how Frontier gets you. Their airline prices are relatively cheap, but they are king of the nickel and dime. They will nickel and dime you for everything. Now, every airline charges for bags. Every airline does that. But they charge you. If you need assistance at the counter, you got to pay a fee for that. If your bag is a half a pound over, instead of just paying like a nominal increase fee, it's like $150. Like, it's just wild. So this wild viral footage captures Frontier Airlines gate agents getting into a bust up with a passenger who had sniped. I'm never flying this SHITTY airline again after being hit with an unexpected $25 fee just to check in. The caught on camera saga erupted when the male passenger, a 45-year-old married father of three, was trying to check in for his Frontier flight from Raleigh, North Carolina to Boston last Friday after a week-long business trip. The passenger, who didn't want to be identified, told the Post that he'd arrived at the airport with roughly 15 minutes to spare, but wasn't able to check in on the electronic kiosk because, unbeknownst to him, he had missed the airline's 60-minute pre-departure window. When he went to speak to a Frontier employee, he was told he needed to cough up $25 fee to check in at the desk per the airline's policy. Now, let me explain something. I understand corporate policies, but because I've been in a service, customer-facing environment before, you have to, if you really love your job and you love the organization that you represent, or you just want to be the best kind of employee that balances company policy with stellar service, this is an opportunity for you to show yourself to be the amazing employee you are, to say, you know what, sir, our policy dictates this. But in light of the fact you have been traveling and you've done this, let me figure out the best way to help you so you can get on your way. Nope, orangutans cannot do that. Here's what I want to do. I want to play it again, and then I am going to explain to you exactly what you are watching. And I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to give you some insight into the orangutan behavior and other circumstances where this is actually the norm. This is not an outlier. This is the norm. Let's watch it again.
The Mayday flight, you did. And you think, you're going to check me in. I bet you we won't. Okay?
I paid for a ticket.
And you
Yeah,
didn't
I
pay
paid for a
$25 for
ticket.
an agent assist fee, and you checked in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that
The attitude, the aggressive, matter of fact, like I have never, ever seen an employee go out of their way to be this disrespectful and nasty on the clock. Like you're in your company employee uniform. You've got the Frontier badge on. First of all, why are you and the orangutan next to you both recording this? It's almost as if they purposely want to make an example out of the customer, because in the orangutan's mind, they think they're right. They see orangutans, they ain't got good sense, right? They can't think in proper categories and discern, be like, you know what, this might be the company policy. And technically, I am in the right. However, the way I do it, the way I speak to the customer, the way I communicate the company policy to the customer, and the way I treat the customer, see, they can't chew bubble gum and walk. They can't do that. This is who these women are. The orangutan is a female imbecile behaviorally. She only knows chaos and disruption and disorderly conduct because it flows and it emanates from the darkened heart and the miserable personality and characteristic traits that are just ingrained so deep in them. Oh, Jesus can change a person's heart who functions in the world like this and believes that they're right. Listen to the taunting and the antagonizing that this woman is going to participate in.
Your flight.
Yeah, I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your flight. And you thought you was going to get on your.
You see that? She do that to her baby daddy. You see, in order to gain control, maintain control, and to get the upper hand, they constantly reiterate and repeat themselves. And you thought you was going to get on that flight. And you thought you was going to get on that flight. See, what they're trying to do, they're trying to push this man's buttons because they want him to snap and react just like they crazy baby daddy does. Right? This right here, I have a name. I have a name for this one, but I'm drawing a blank. Shaquana. This is a Shaquana move right here. See, Shaquana, the baby daddy, a lot of time he want to come and pick up Taquayshawn. And because Shaquana is mad that Taquayshawn Sr. don't want to be with her anymore, whenever Taquayshawn calls to be like, hey, I want to pick up baby Tay for the weekend because, my grandparents are coming in town. She don't have a real reason why she can't cooperate. She's just doing so because she's miserable. She can't manage her misery. Her life is full of chaos. And so she show out that antagonizing and that, oh, you thought you was going to pick up your son. Oh, you thought you was going to pick up your son. Like all of that, the little finger and. I can't believe I am witnessing in a corporate environment, but this is the culture. When I tell you that the culture is trash, when I tell you that this is reflective of generations of bastards raising bastards, I need some of y'all, I wish some of y'all would try to prove me wrong. What else do you call this? Women who were raised to respect men because they were raised with men and they were around men don't act like this. This is matriarchal squalor. This is the orangutan behavior elevated in the corporate sector. These are the women that they get the jobs where they got to be the bulldog gatekeeper, where they got to break the bad news to the customer, but they don't know how to season their words with grace or any sort of salt at all. They're listen. I don't know how this man was able to hold it together without hauling off and just knocking her out. And I know that sounds like I'm advocating for violence, but when you act like a rabid dog like this, sometimes how else do you put down a rabid dog? You got to put him down. You got to put him down. I'm just saying. Now, if you want to take what I just said and walk away thinking that I'm calling her a rabid dog and saying she need to be put down, then that your interpretation may or may not be consistent with the sentiment I was trying to convey. But I'll leave that up to you. But listen to the taunting.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
She told that man, and you're not getting on your flight. But see, this is what I want to know. I want to know who is the older woman behind the counter that works there that ain't snatched both of them up by the neck and be like, what the heck is wrong with you? But you know what? She don't see nothing wrong with it because she probably act just like that. This the matriarchal squalor. That was Big Mama right here. This Big Mama. You see Big Mama right there? She just going on about her business, like ain't nothing wrong, ain't nothing happening, because she don't see nothing wrong with this. This is completely normal to her because she got granddaughters that live with her that act like this. This is all normal. This is all normal. And in this one right here, looking like Lil Wayne's little sister, she's like, it's the policy. And then, it's the policy. And you're not getting on the flight.
Not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
Because it's a policy. We don't control that.
And you will never fly.
You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in. And you decided that you ain't going to let me check in.
Make me check you in. Make me check you in. This is what they do to the baby daddy. You can tell, they're professionals. This ain't their first rodeo. They have done this so many times to the people in their lives, whether it's their cousins or their uncles or the baby daddies. This is the only way that these Shaquana types know how to engage. They have no concept of, you know what, on principle. And hear me clearly, I'm not saying that the customer is always right 100% of the time. However, in a situation like this, where the customer is not being aggressive and antagonizing, and they're just like, can you just help me? I just want to go home. They have the power. And because they hold the upper hand, they are going to constantly remind this man, You ain't getting on this flight because to get on this flight, you got to go through me. And I don't want you to get on the flight. You thought you was getting on this flight. It's a policy. These women think they own Frontier Airlines. You would think they had corporate stock shares where they're like, if we let this man on the flight, it's going to impact our entire bottom line. So we can't let him on. They have internalized their aggression and their ratcheting energy so much so that they've brought it to the workplace and they don't even know the difference between, okay, how I treat my baby daddy at home and how I act at work needs to be separate and distinct from each other. They can't. They can't manage their misery enough to leave this foolishness at home. And I am disappointed at the meemaw behind them who ain't been like, whoa, baby, that's not how we do. We don't talk to customers like that. What's wrong with you, Shaquana? Take a break. Or go smoke a cigarette. Or go smoke a blunt. Whatever it is that they do. You know these types. She hasn't said anything because this is so normal to her. This is just an everyday Thursday. She just like, what's going on? She don't even hear it. You know how like some mamas, type of one in the chat if you're a mom and if you got like a lot of kids and they always calling you all the time and half the time they don't want nothing and they be like, mommy. Then they start singing it, mommy. Like I have just auto shut off. There's a place in my mind that I can transition to where it's like a lot of kids calling me all the time and I'm like, I'm away in my mind. That's what she's doing right now. She is so desensitized to it, she don't even hear it. That's why she ain't saying nothing. Listen to this though.
Let me check you in.
You literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket for. I'm here 30 minutes before the flight.
Please leave, sir.
No.
Can you please leave? Why would he leave? He has purchased a ticket and he wants to go home. And she is dismissing him. You need to please leave. I don't know how these chicks thought this was going to end. I really don't. Let me read you a little bit more of this article. Basically, what happened there, and hear me, I want to be fair in how I cover this. I've been traveling a lot. And when you've been on the road, whether it's work or pleasure, and you just want to go home, I tried to, for example, when I had to leave Dallas and I missed my flight, and when I finally got to Charlotte, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, all I cared about was where is my bag? Where is my bag? But because I was tired and I was cranky, I had to constantly ask the Holy Spirit to calm me down, help me to be relaxed. So when I talk to these gate agents, it's late, they want to go home, then I am not taking my frustration out on them. So the one little girl that was helping me, she wasn't that friendly. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to kill her with kindness. I ain't gonna lie, I had to go to her 3 times because the status on the app kept giving me conflicting information. And it's like they would give and then take away. 1 minute I thought I was going to give my bag and then I didn't. Then I did, then I didn't. And I kept going to her. I was like, hey, it's me again. I was like, you are doing such an amazing job. And I know it's late. Can you just check one more time on my bag? I said, I really need my bag tonight. And I really don't want it to go to Lynchburg without me. Can you help? And the more I would plead and be really nice and sweet to her, her defenses were down. And when she saw me the next time, she was so willing to help me. And she was like, I got good news. It's coming on Carousel 4. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was so happy and excited. But can you imagine? Can you imagine if I had pulled out some orangutan energy and told Shaquana, listen, I don't care how long you've been here. I need my bag and I need it now. And you need to go in that computer and whoop-de-whoop and make it do what it do and do something and make my bag manifest. Like, if I had come to her like that, do you really think that she would have been willing to help me? What the heck is wrong with these chicks? That they're like, can you please leave? There was no compassion toward the customer. If you work and travel, you already know it's high stress and people want to go home. And if you are not about to make a flight, how stressful that is, the least she could have done is say, sir, we're going to do our best to get you through the gate and check you in. I don't know what's going on with the kiosk, but we want to help you because I thought the goal was to have them fly the airline over and over again. But with this kind of behavior, it makes absolutely no sense why anyone would want to do business with friends. Like, how did they get through the interview acting like this? What kind of screening process is in place? Like, y'all don't have an orangutan like meter or something, and you can't sniff that out in the interview? I don't know. The customer said, they were like, it's your fault for not checking the website. Sorry, it's on you. He said of the moments before he started filming. After a 20-minute back and forth, the passenger said he finally relented and agreed to pay the fee. As he reached for his wallet, he copped to muttering, I'm never flying this SHI airline again. And when this is what the customer said. He says, when I said that, the lady who I was talking to took a step back and gasped and was like, how dare you curse at me? I'm not checking you in. I don't have to check you in. And my reaction was, you will check me in. I think those were the words that I used, quote, he said. And when he said that, she completely went off. I don't know if ballistic is the word, but essentially she shut off completely and absolutely refused to check me in. Listen, I'm telling you, I don't know if your name is Tom or Bill, whatever your name is, sir. Listen, this is how she treat her baby daddy. You a man. It don't matter. It don't matter if you were white or black. She would, shoot, had you been black, she probably would have treated you worse. She probably would have treated you way worse, because this is how they do. They so used to treating the baby daddy like this that, it don't matter. Let's play this a little bit more.
Can you please leave my personal space?
I'm not in your personal space.
You're
This
in my
is
face?
not your
I work
personal
here.
space.
This is my stationery.
This is not
I'm at
your
work
personal
here.
space. You work for a company. This is not your personal space.
We ain't gotta worry about it. We ain't gotta worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. You're literally not doing your job for a customer.
She like, we ain't gotta worry about it. He ain't getting on the flight. And the Mima, do y'all see this Mima over here? Who she's not trying to like, I'm trying to figure out where are the adults here. Where are the adults? Now, Tom on the other side, the white guy, I think he's scared of them. So he don't want to step in. He just addressed the white guy like, well, since you claim you don't want to fly again, we should help you. But he's not going to say that to them because he already knows that's going to set them off. So the white guy who's afraid, and I'm trying to understand this, all this male cowardice, this type of behavior is going to continue until we get some men that put these broads in their place. I'm sorry, because they like rabid dogs. You got to put them down.
That has paid for a plane ticket to get home.
I told you to stop putting the camera on me, sir.
I'm literally here at Frontier. I bought a ticket and they are not letting me check in. For no reason whatsoever.
Well, you said you're never flying the airline again, so we might as well help you out and have you not fly the airline.
I've already bought a ticket. I've literally already bought a ticket, and this is your reaction.
Y'all, listen. I'm glad I wasn't there, because in situations like this, minding my business is hard, and I could hear my husband in my ear, mind your business, don't say nothing that don't concern you. You ain't involved. But I would have been like, y'all are so shameful. Y'all are so shameful. I am not even coming from the position that the customer is always right, because sometimes customers just want you to do things that are just outside of the bounds of just general customer service expectations. But I'm like, I'm listening to this man. It's not like you got two orangutans arguing with another orangutan and they both going back and forth. The man is like, I just want to go home. Why won't you check me in? And it's almost like they want to punish him. They want to punish him to remind him, we're in charge. You ain't going nowhere unless we say so. And since we say you ain't going nowhere, you ain't going nowhere. And my thing is, not one time did they think ahead, like, you know what, this behavior might cost me my job. This behavior might cost me my professional, professional reputation. This might make it to social media. Actually, orangutans are such imbeciles that they would be the ones to release this footage because they don't see nothing wrong with it. They think this is them. You showed them. You told them who was, who was in charge. I'm like, it's one thing for us to see a bunch of frontier customers fighting, but when you have gate agents acting like this toward the customers, this is not sustainable. This is not sustainable. How do we have a civilized society when you can't even train the orangutan behavior to suppress itself during 9 and 5? Like during the hours of 9 and 5, you can't suppress this. You can't suppress the orangutan energy, at least while you're at work, and leave this for when you at the Walmart. I I don't know. I don't understand. I just know when I saw this, it made me so angry because I'm like, someone has emboldened this kind of behavior in the culture, and someone is encouraging it. And unless we shame and expose and help people to see, one, all Black women don't act like this. Two, we need to label this behavior as orangutan behavior and identify these cretins when they manifest themselves and shame the heck out of them so that they will reform or repent. Because honestly, even apart from the sovereign saving grace of Christ, pagans can at least modify their behavior and act accordingly when needed. Right? Like you don't have to be indwelt with the spirits to act normal at work. You don't. But I am so tired. This is a professional environment. And these women had jobs and were so bold enough to record their foolishness. And it's not like they realize, you know what? In this moment, I may feel like this man is not going to get on the plane, but I'm not going to tell him that. I'm not going to tell him that. That's what they told him. So, I wanted to cover this. One, to highlight the orangutan behavior that is running rampant in the culture. I want to disavow it. I want to label it. I want to give it a name. I want to shame the heck out of this kind of behavior because I'm so tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it at the grocery store. I'm tired of seeing it at the Starbucks. I just watched another video the other day, a police cam video, where a chick ordered a drink and a cookie, and she has yet to articulate. I might cover. She did not articulate why she wanted a refund. Mind you, she's got said drink and cookie in her possession. But because they wouldn't give her a refund, she refused to leave. The police had to be called. They asked this woman 10 times to leave the establishment, and she wouldn't. She argued with the police, left her children in the car, and the oldest little girl, who couldn't have been more than 7, is coming in trying to figure out what is taking my mama so long. And the little girl witnesses her mother arguing with the police. And the 7-year-old, I'm assuming she's 7, is like, Mama, please don't do this. Little girl starts crying, begging her mama not to do this. And the police end up having to arrest her and wrestle her orangutan big back behind down to the ground in front of her children. And it didn't have to end that way. It's all because she had to be right. She had to assert whatever it is she wanted at that moment. And because they wouldn't comply to her demands, she refused to leave. She resisted arrest. She threw the drink on the ground and injured an officer in the process. She had a 7-year-old and some other smaller children asleep in the car, and had to haul her ratchet behind off to jail. And the part about it that broke my heart so much was that the baby was crying, and the fool mother on the floor is like, call your father, call such and such, call somebody. And the little girl, she's nervous, she's frazzled, and I guess she wasn't dialing fast enough. The mama's yelling at her. The girl is traumatized. She's crying. This little girl pleaded with the mama, Mama, please don't do this. Mama, please don't do this. Why does a child have to remind you how to act? Huh? I'm telling you. These orangutans are out loose. They are loose. They are rabid. And if you can identify them on sight, you need to stay far away from them. You need to stay as far away from them. I don't know. I'm curious to know what y'all think. Like, if y'all think, April, you are just being so harsh calling these women orangutans. What you want me to call them? Hebrew scholars? I mean, rocket scientists? The orangutan label is a behavioral descriptor, not a dermal one. It is no indication of what they look like and has everything to do with how they behave. It is my word. It is what I call them. I'm not apologizing for it. And every time I cite one, I identify to help the culture know that's what you're dealing with right there. Female imbecile. She a female imbecile. She can't manage her misery. That's why she's showing out.